So yeah, we have some very sad news to report. Paul Reubens, aka Pee-Wee Herman, has died at the age of 70 years old. And it was basically revealed that he died of a cancer that he had been hiding for the past 6 years, and it was not revealed to the public until just in the last hour after they announced his death. And when I think of when I think of Paul Reubens, I should say, I do think of Pee-Wee Herman. Everybody thinks of Pee-Wee Herman. I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff, not just as Paul Reubens, but as Pee-Wee Herman as well. Of course, everyone remembers Pee-Wee's Big Adventure. The movies that came after that movie, even though they're not as good as Pee-Wee's Big Adventure, they're still really good movies. Like, Big Top Pee-Wee is still a ton of fun, and that Netflix movie he did, Pee-Wee's Big Holiday, was a ton of fun as well. And yeah, I think he got a bad rap after what happened when his show got canceled because of his incident where he was arrested for masturbating inside of a porn theater, which, I mean, it's a bad look for somebody who's seen by so many children as an icon. But at the same time, though, I mean, what else is that not the first time somebody has done that in a theater like that before? And I mean, I think a lot of people really knew that going forward, but I mean, I got why he got arrested, because he was seen as such an icon to a lot of kids because of Pee-Wee's Playhouse. So, in a way, that kind of makes sense. But I am glad that everybody kind of came back around to him not too long after that. I mean, he showed up at the MTV Video Music Awards a couple years later, and everyone seemed to be happy that he was back. And he's been in a lot of really good movies since then. I mean, Blow was a great film. I mean, he's had a lot of good movies, good roles in really some underrated stuff, like stuff that's maybe not the best movie ever, but like I liked his performance in Dunstan Checks In, where he plays like this guy who's brought in to take out this monkey, and he's one of the few things in that movie that I thought was actually kind of fun to watch. Like, I thought he was a ton of fun to watch in that film. He's been on a lot of TV shows. You've heard his voice many times on shows like Rugrats. I'm trying to think of what else. He was most recently seen on an episode of Bob's Burgers. He had a voice in that. He was Screwy Squirrel in one of the Tom and Jerry movies. He's been in a whole lot of stuff. Of course, he's been in a lot of stuff with Tim Burton, Batman Returns. For Christmas, he had a voice. But when I think of my two personal favorite moments with Pee-Wee Herman, besides the obvious ones, I mean, Pee-Wee's Big Adventure has a ton of great moments, but I want to talk about some underrated Pee-Wee Herman moments that I thought were really memorable to me. And one of the ones that I immediately went to right off the bat was his great underrated performance in the criminally underrated Back to the Beach, where he just shows up out of nowhere and starts singing Surfin' Bird. And his Surfin' Bird's actually pretty damn good. I would go as far as to say it's actually better than the original version of Surfin' Bird. And Surfin' Bird's a great song, by the way, but his performance in that movie is just a ton of fun. It comes out of nowhere, but like a lot of the cameos in that movie come out of nowhere, and that's part of the fun of it. Like, it knows what it is, it knows what it's trying to be, and having that scene in there was just, it just works on so many levels. I really love that scene a lot. I can't post the full clip on here for obvious copyright reasons, but go look for that clip. Back to the Beach, Surfing Bird. You will not be disappointed by that. It's a great moment. And the other moment that I really think about when I think of underrated Pee-Wee Herman moments is when he was presenting the Best Live Action Short Film Oscar, and I think it was the 1988 Oscars. It had to be because of what happens in there. So it starts off like normal. You see Paul Reubens in his Pee-Wee Herman getup. He's talking like Pee-Wee Herman. He's about to do the award, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Ed 209 from RoboCop shows up and just starts attacking the award show because he wants the Oscar. And it's a chaotic moment because you see the Ed 209 model there, and you see like these really like cheap but kind of fun laser effects that show up throughout the course of the thing, but there's practical effects going on too, and you see that Pee-Wee Herman is on these strings, and he's going up in the air, and he's like, "Where's RoboCop? Where's RoboCop?" And then out of nowhere, RoboCop just shows up, and he starts shooting at Ed 209. And again, the effects look terrible, but at the same time they look kind of cheesy, fun, terrible, because you see him pointing the gun and shooting the laser, and he misses completely the first time, and then he finally hits him a couple of times, and then at the end he's just like, "It's okay to continue the show, Pee-Wee," and it's just like, "Thanks, RoboCop," and then RoboCop just walks away. Like, I love the audience's reaction to that. Like, they have no idea what the hell just happened, but they love it anyway. Like, See, that's the kind of stuff I miss with the Academy Awards, honestly. I miss when they have those moments where you're just like, what the hell is going on here? But, like, in a fun kind of way. Not like Rob Lowe and Snow White in 1989. That moment's just, yeah, that's still terrible. But this was a great fun moment. Again, I can't show you the full moment here because of copyright reasons, but definitely go and look for that clip because it is a ton of fun to look at. And everyone will remember him as Pee-Wee Herman. My first time ever seeing Pee-Wee Herman was in Pee-Wee's Big Adventure, and it was a little bit of a clip on TV when it was on TBS in like the late 90s, 98, 99, I think it was. And then I heard that, and I didn't realize he had a TV show until VH1 had it on I Love the 80s about 3 years after that. And then I finally saw the full episodes when they were on Adult Swim in 2006, and that was my first exposure to that TV series. And I quickly became a fan. I mean, the comedy was very good. It was very top-notch, over the top. It was a great cast overall. And it helps because Paul Reubens just, you could tell that he was committed to this role, and he's been committed all these years. And the fact that we're never going to see him play this character again and he's no longer a hero is just really, really sad to hear. I mean, it's a guy that you really do think that he would have been a really cool guy in real life if you ever got a chance to meet him. And it's a shame because this guy really played a huge part in a lot of people's childhoods. He crossed generations. It wasn't just kids; it was adults. Just anybody who can look at this guy and look at him and go like, you know what? He seems like a really, really cool guy. I mean, I really, really wish that he was still here, but life doesn't work that way sometimes, and unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to him, and that's a shame too. But Paul Reubens, you were a great guy. Died last night actually, at the age of 70 years old. And yeah, you will definitely be missed. Let me know your thoughts down below. What are your favorite Paul Reubens moments? What are your favorite Pee-Wee moments? I'd really like to know. This hurts today, man. This hurts seeing him go away. It's unfortunate to hear, but like I said, that's how life works, unfortunately. So rest in peace, Paul Reubens. You will definitely be missed.